Welcome back. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame has announced a star-studded class of 2021. Among them, Kelly Butler, a Union High School grad who played 5 seasons in the NFL. Olympian and NCAA national champion shot putter Tia Brooks Wanamaker. Longtime volleyball coach Beth Lanier. Tom Workmeister, one of West Michigan's winningest amateur golfers. And the 2006 through 2010 East Grand Rapids football teams. They went 67-3 in that stretch, winning 5 consecutive state titles. We also have Bob Kaser, the longtime voice of the Grand Rapids Griffins, who's been selected for the Reynolds Lifetime Achievement Award. He joins us now to talk about that honor. And Bob, congratulations. You've spent the last 22 years with the team. What does this award mean to you?
Well, obviously, it's almost beyond words. I mean, words are my life, right, as a broadcaster, but I don't know if I can come up with them right now. I mean, the award itself, to be honored with so many other great, past athletes, contributors to sports, etc. But to have, the name Warren Reynolds associated with my award just means so much more. I mean, I never met Warren, unfortunately. He had passed away shortly after I moved here. But I heard so much about him, and what an honor, what an incredible honor to be chosen for this award.
Well, many of those years you worked alongside one of our own, Larry Figursky. He and so many others we know say that you're good enough to have an NHL gig, and yet you've stayed here in Grand Rapids the whole time. Tell us about that.
Well, it's the same thing, Emily. In Kansas City, I had a handful of people who come to me from time to time and say, Bob, how come you're not in the National Hockey League? And it's, sure, I would love to work in the NHL. It's not a matter of not wanting to be there. It's just I've had it so good where I've been. Kansas City was, the ownership there was unbelievable. And then Dan DeVos bought the team my last 3 years in Kansas City. Everybody was nervous, but, with new ownership for Dan and Pam and the rest of the group just turned out to be the best people. And then that translated into eventually getting the job here in Grand Rapids. And, I have had it as good as anybody could possibly have it in the minor pro sports ranks, in terms of the ownership that I've worked for, the people that I work with, the communities I've been in Kansas City, now here in Grand Rapids. I consider myself the luckiest guy in all the minor league sports. So, so the desire to move on from where I've been has just not been as strong as it, probably maybe it should have been. I don't know, but just very content, very, very happy, and very proud to have represented the teams in Kansas City and now for 20-plus years here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, 22 years of good memories with the team, 2 Calder Cup titles, countless players that have made their way to the NHL. Do you have a specific memory or story that stands out to you that you want to share?
Boy, there's so many of them. I think a lot of it is just to do with the people that I work with. I mean, it's funny, as an athlete, I think you reach a peak, right? Whatever the sport is, 24, 25, 30, whatever, in this business, you just continue to learn and learn and learn. And I learn, from just great people. The president of our organization, Tim Gortsima, the ownership, the people that I work around. I don't really have any specific stories, just again, how grateful I am to work in the environment that I've worked in and with the people that I work for. But naturally, having been in hockey actually 40-plus years, there are so many stories. There's no way in the world I would be able to find one. But the championships here in Grand Rapids about as good as it gets. So it'd be pretty tough to top, winning titles for the great fans of Grand Rapids and everyone else that deserved those titles here.
Bob Kaser, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.